What should we talk about?
I'd like to discuss something which is a bit difficult. Yeah, I feel it's quite important. I'd like to discuss relationship and sex. This is something I think a lot of the students have discussed among staff and students. It's something that most of us seem to be unclear on.
Relationship and sex.
Yes.
Anything else?
Can we maybe bring into that the subject of guilt?
Death.
Guilt.
Anything else to talk about? All right, let's start. You know, you're going to have examinations at the end of next month. And most of you probably are concerned about that a great deal. And so you put examinations first before everything else. Right? Right? Like those people who put career first before everything else, sex before everything else, family before everything else, right? Or their wife or their child first. Haven't you noticed all this? So what happens when you put one of these things first and disregard everything else, including sex, child, career, what? God, if God can quote. What happens to such people? What happens to their minds when you put something first? Sex, oneself, career, examination, family, and so on. What happens to their mind? Let's discuss it with me. When you put anything first, disregarding or giving other things in life a secondary place, what goes on within the mind? You understood my question? Say, for example, when you put sex first, what takes place? And disregard relationship, work, and so on. Come on, sir, let's talk it over.
You become focused on it.
Huh?
You become focused on it.
You become focused on it. What? When you become focused on a particular thing and give your whole life to that.
Don't you become isolated?
Huh?
Isolated.
Go into a little more. You say isolated.
One tramples on other people in order to get what one wants.
When you concentrate or give your life to a career, say, this is my career, nothing else matters. What is the quality of such a mind?
Ruthless.
Huh?
Becomes ruthless.
Yes.
Doesn't care for others.
Discuss it. Go into it a little more. Ruthless.
Narrow.
Huh?
It's narrow. It's got that one direction without disregarding everything else.
So you set a direction.
Yeah.
Are you saying that?
Yeah.
a direction which is much stronger, more particular, I mean, direct, disregarding other things, right? Is that what you're saying?
I think you neglect things that require attention.
Huh?
Say you neglect things that require attention.
Why do people do that? Why do people give money as the most important thing in their life, or sex, or their baby, or their family, or their career? Say, this is most important for me. Why do they do it?
Because they've been conditioned to think that that is most important.
What?
They've been conditioned to think that that thing is very important.
Is that it? They are conditioned that way? They might be interested in various other things, right? In seeing countries or various other things. But this thing, one thing becomes prominent. Why? Go into a little more. Discuss it with me.
Well, it can be used as an escape. If you're all into one thing, then
You're saying that's a good escape. Is that it? It's an escape from what?
a lot of problems or fears, unpleasantness.
Go on, give a little more, go into it. I don't want to push you. I give my life, I give predominant something important to my career. I say that is the most important thing in my life. And I will sacrifice everything else for that, right? Though I have other interests, but that those interests don't dominate this one particular interest, which is career. What? Why do I do that?
For one thing, it makes you feel secure. It gives you something that you can identify with.
It makes me secure. Does it?
Well, it makes me feel secure.
Does it actually? The man says, I'm giving all my life to earning money. If nothing else matters much. Why does one do it? Or sex, you raise the question. And that becomes almost all important. Why? Why does it become important? Supersedes all other interests.
Because it's the most pleasurable. It's the most pleasurable.
Pleasurable. Then why is that the reason? Huh? Avanti, mi dico.
It's tangible as well, Krishnaji.
Huh?
It's tangible. You can recognize it, you can pursue it. It's not, it closes you off from a great number of anxieties which you would otherwise be open to and which you would have to deal with.
Therefore, what am I doing? Why does one do it? Is it an escape from other problems?
It's partially that.
Huh? I have committed to go in one direction, and I close my eyes to all other directions, though I take interest, minor interest, but this is the predominant interest. Right? Why?
Well, for some people who do that, the distance that they can make in that direction, if they narrow themselves to specialize, they seem to outdistance other people. If you're going to be a scientist and you do it full time, you will be better than people who only
Is that the reason that you have more success and be beyond competition, more money?
For many people it is, yeah.
No, I'm asking for us, are we doing, when you make sex as the all important, or your family all important, your child or your God or whatever it is, why does one do it? You haven't answered my question.
I think because one sees the necessity of giving it importance. One sees the necessity of giving it importance.
Do you, if I may ask, do you give importance solely to one thing? Think it out carefully. Money, sex, husband, marriage, or not married, but a boy or a girl, a career. You follow? Find out why you do it. No answer?
It seems different with that.
Do you do it, sir? Don't, otherwise, if we don't
So sometimes it's
apply
one
it
thing
to
that-
ourselves, it becomes theoretical, rather stupid.
Well,
To
sometimes
discuss
it's one thing and then
vaguely
another.
about something, it means, but if you say, am I committed to one direction, family, child, whatever it is, sex, money, position, are you?
Yes, at certain times.
Huh?
At certain times, yes.
I don't feel that I am, though, committed to just one thing.
So, if you're not committed, you're generally vague about everything, is that it?
No. But at times, one thing can become a big importance.
You answer her question. She said, at certain times, I give importance to one particular thing above all others. Right? When you do that, why do you do it?
To decide more.
No, apply it to yourself. Don't discuss it vaguely. Then it's meaningless.
It seems that when I give importance to something, say like making money, like during the holidays, that seems to be the most important thing for me to do. Or
All right.
it's important
That's a
at that
different
time.
matter, isn't it? Don't reduce it to that. During the holidays, you have to earn money for various reasons. That you give importance to that. But when you give importance to something above all others for the rest of your life, or give importance to a particular thing and move away from what you are doing. Abandon what you are doing and say, this is what I'm going to do. Why?
Seems we just wander if we don't have a direction.
So you say, if I don't do that, I wander all over the place. I become sloppy, right? Vague, indifferent, and so on. Is that it? Is that why you place something above all others? You, personally, go into yourself and find out. Come on.
Well, I put a lot of importance in my exams right now.
That's why. Right, that's a different matter. Wait a minute, we'll take that, right? We'll go step by step. Exams next month, right? So you give all your time, your energy, your thought, because why? I won't tell you, tell me.
Well, I look at them as a necessity.
Go, explain it, go on, don't say necessity, just stop there. I want to know why you, all of you who are here, who are so anxious, frightened, nervous, apprehensive, that if you don't pass, that examination is so important. Why?
Perhaps psychologically one wants some moorings.
Huh?
Psychologically, one wants some moorings, something to hold on to. And we don't want to be lonely.
No,
we
boy,
want to be...
no. Exams, you're not. Are you frightened of your exams coming next month?
Well, I'm not actually frightened of exams.
Anxious?
No.
Because you're not going to take exams.
No, but even when I do have them, even when I do have them, I mean, I just...
Now, I want to know. Please go into it for yourselves. It's important. Give your thought to this little bit. Why are you so concerned about exams? Why? You know, like in Russia and Japan, I know some people in India, students who committed suicide because they failed. And they were very good, very clever people, boys. But exams made them so nervous, so frightened, they couldn't think clearly. And in Japan, all the rest goes on. Now, why are you so concerned?
Isn't it because it determines our future, the
Huh?
quality of our future?
Yes. So you say if you don't pass exams, you might not go to get a college, right? Get a better job, and a career, right? So you are frightened of the future. So you say, unless I pass these exams, my future is very uncertain, right? So to make your future certain, be satisfied with the future, you must pass exams. Is that it? To get a job. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. And if you don't pass examinations, goodness, what are you going to do? Become a laborer? Or something, menial jobs and so. You see, you have a horror of all that, so you pass it. Go on. Right.
And also parents and teachers would be...
Huh?
Parents and teachers
Oh,
would be...
parents pressure you. Their society, their culture, everything says pass exams. If you don't, you lose, you won't be good. You won't make good. Right? Go on, something will take up. Money. You place great importance to money as the chief thing in life. You must have money, agree, everybody agrees. Don't say, well, I must have money, but I'm saying if you place money as the most important thing in your life, why do you do it? Or if you place sex as the most important thing, why? Or your wife or your husband or your child as the most important. Why? Come on, sirs, join.
you suggesting that there's a common...
We're going to find out. Investigate. Go on, sir. Don't. All right, let me give you... Are you escaping when you do that? Huh?
There seems to be some fear behind it. You're
That,
afraid not
yes,
to pursue
that means
one.
escape. Escape from having a very complex life, right? You avoid all romanticism, all idealism, all fanciful imaginations and so on. You say, this is what I want to do. Is that why you do it?
Doesn't seem to be the reason when we do it.
Huh?
It doesn't seem to be apparent when we're doing it.
Of course not. But shouldn't we be thinking about all that now? Be aware of all the things that of all the traps that one can be caught in. All right, let me go on with it. I place my wife or my child or my career as the most important thing. Why do I do it? I disregard what I'm doing. I am only concerned with that. So I neglect, I push away things, I leave, I hold on, whatever I do. So I'm concerned with that one thing, my wife, or my girl, or my child, or my family. What takes place? Why do I do it? Am I doing it? Please listen. Am I doing discussion, right? I'm not saying it is so. Do I do it because I'm escaping from myself? Which is myself being my problems, my desires, my deeper interests. This at least I'm committed to, my wife. And when I'm committed to my wife likes it, loves it. She feels at last I've got a man by the neck. So am I doing that? Am I escaping from myself when I am totally concerned with my wife, with my job, with sex? You understand what I'm saying? Am I? My problems, my worries, all the disturbances, anxieties. I say, you are more important than myself. When I commit myself to my wife, the wife becomes all important, right? Right? Or the girl, or all important. What takes place when one person or one idea, one thing becomes all important.
Is that what happens? Or is it that a person thinks that their self is most important?
What?
I'm saying, is that actually what happens? Or does a person really think that their self is more important and that they accumulate a wife or a job or a sexual pleasure for themselves? It's really at the
No, wait,
center of it.
that is, by committing myself to you, what happens to me?
I become very important.
That is the whole point, you understand? You understand what I'm saying? What happens to me when I say, you are all important?
Well, to you, then I'm important.
Huh?
To you, then I am important.
What do you mean by that?
If I say...
Look at it carefully. Answer, don't guess. When you commit, say, you are all important, money is all important, sex, my child, my wife is all important, what has taken place?
You're saying nothing else is important.
Yes, that's nothing else is as important as that. So what has happened?
I identify with that thing.
Then what, which is what?
Which is the same thing as saying I am most important.
That is it. Only I put it on my child, wife. I wonder if you got it. Huh?
So if something happens to your child, it's the same as it happening to you?
What?
If something should happen to your child or your money or whatever, does it also, does that mean...
All right, if I'm attached to, if I say my wife is all important and everything is minor importance, then if anything happens to her, I get hurt. I get jealous. I get frightened. I'm anxious.
Because I project me.
So watch it, sir. Look at it. Go into yourself and find out when this happens. An ideal is all important to me. A utopian ideal. Huh? I have projected that ideal, or society projected it, I accept it. I am that ideal. I am worshipping myself. I wonder if you see this. No? When God or Christ or Krishna or somebody becomes all important, what have I done? I'm playing a trick upon my, what? I'm deceiving myself. Is that, do you see it logically, reasonably, and see the fact of it? That when you place something above all others, you are escaping from yourself, thinking that is more important, with which you have unconsciously identified and created it. Right? No, you won't accept this. Not accept. Do you see it? Am I wrong? Convince me. Show me where I'm wrong.
Where does love come into?
Wait. I'm not. When I say I love you above all others, you're my wife, I adore you, you're my, etc., etc., etc. What? Huh? And I'm holding you, right? You are a prisoner to my commitment. No? So I'm afraid to let you go. Nothing must happen to you.
I think it's too general to say that everything you place importance on is you basically do it for yourself. Because then there would be no place for concern and love.
We're going to find out.
I wasn't saying importance, but when you put something as being of the utmost importance.
When you give something utmost importance, is that love? Hmm? Then you become prisoner to my importance. Goodness, it's so simple. Huh? No? You've all stopped thinking, have you?
Isn't it kind of, if you catch a bird, put it into a cage, then you have it in your room and it's singing and you say, I love this bird. But
Put the question so differently. Would you give equal importance to everything? Money, sex, child, wife, husband, God.
So isn't there some fear in giving importance to something that if I don't give it importance, I will not be able to secure what I want?
Partly, that's one of the things. I'm asking, if you don't give importance to one thing, then will you give importance to everything else? Everything is important, right? You understand what I'm saying? Go slowly into it, examine it carefully. It may be easier to give importance to one thing, right? Rather than money, sex, relationship, and so on, so on. Give equal importance to all of that. Is that possible? Or, thinking that it is not possible, we say, I'll give my importance to one thing.
Well, I think if you think about it as giving equal importance to everything.
Can you?
No, you can't.
No, don't say you can't. Find out.
No, I haven't expressed what I meant. You see, if you put it as a concept, put importance to everything, and so on, then you find yourself being doing something impossible. But if you just think about it, you don't do it. It seems not to be very easy. And so you just discard many things and put your utmost importance to one thing.
That is because you say, I cannot give importance to all things equally, which is difficult, which is probably impossible. So you say, I'll give my attention to that one thing. Is that it?
Maybe we're going a little too quickly. We have to go into why should we do this? I mean, if it were possible, what's the benefit of it?
What is the benefit of giving importance to equally to all things?
Yeah, it may be very difficult, but it may be worth it. So
No, is it worth it giving importance to one thing?
Well, at least it gets tangible results, as Steve said.
What is the tangible result?
Well, you might become very wealthy, or you might have a big car, or a
Yes,
house.
I understand with regard to money. I'm talking about giving importance to a wife, which is what she raised, which is relationship. If you give all importance to your wife, to your child, to your husband, to your girlfriend, what happens?
Krishnaji, is importance on the self, that we tend to give importance to one thing? I mean, that we give importance to one thing over other things, and to give equal importance.
Can you give, look, listen, can you give equal importance to everything? Money, sex, relationship, goodness, so on, so on, so on. Equal importance.
By equal importance, I take it you don't mean just some, like I spend the same amount of time and energy on each thing, but...
That means that energy on money, energy on sex, energy on
I mean,
goodness.
It would seem silly to spend, say, 10 units of energy on each thing or something. I mean,
Find out, sir. You are not...
Do you mean giving importance to each thing in your life?
What?
Giving importance to each thing in your life, and not just to one thing.
I'm asking, no.
Because equal sounds difficult, because you then have to compare each one to the other.
People give their life to earning money. And say that's the most important thing, right? Or my family, my child, my wife, my husband, right? And we said that may be an escape from themselves. But it's not an escape from themselves. It's a most dreadful thing because it recoils. So from that one says, can I give equal importance, equal energy to all the things?
It seems it is important to find out what creates this importance.
Go on, go ahead, find out. Why do I give importance? Why does one give importance? Why do you give importance to sex? Which the world is doing. The whole world is caught up. Most important thing in life. Money will help you to get that, and so on, so on, so on. Why?
That very state of mind which demands to put importance in is the thing which wants to identify and then recalls back, and I can't face myself to that state. So it's easier for me to create something and identify.
I understand, sir, but why do you call it important? I understand when you are a student that you must pass examinations because you get a job, career, and so on. And you give your energy, your thought, your anxiety, everything to get that. And that becomes important, right? Why does money become all important to a man, to a businessman? You know, the whole of it. Why? Go on, sir.
Krishnamurti, you keep asking why, and really I don't know why.
Huh?
I really don't know why I put importance on all these things.
Find out, sir. Find out.
But I don't know why. I mean, it seems to be there, and I don't quite know what to do with it.
Well, part of it is the self-image, isn't it?
I don't. Is it self-image?
Well, if you have a lot of money, people treat you differently.
Yes, a lot of money, you are free, you can do what you like, go where you like,
Well,
same thing.
I'm thinking more of how, when you let it know that you have a lot of money, people treat, their image of you changes.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of people like to be treated that way.
And people want power, position, and they go after power. They might get married, children, but their whole direction is to have a great deal of power. right?
Can't you maybe put it that way? If you don't have the money, or if you don't have the power, you feel you're nothing.
Yes. So it is fear, is it, of escaping from your nothingness?
And I think it's avoiding things that we don't know how to deal with.
Would you please find out for look at yourself, don't look somewhere else. Look at yourself and say, why do I give importance to this thing? Put that thing in, more forward than anything else.
Out of a fear of being empty.
Huh?
Out of a fear of being empty or lonely. I mean, one wants to devote their energy and time into something so that one is not lonely.
So you say, I am escaping myself, I'm escaping from my loneliness, from my emptiness, from my nothingness, and and so that becomes all important. Is that it?
That's what I think so.
Not think. Is that a fact to you?
Also, if...
wait, is that a fact to you? That you are escaping from your own nothingness. These are two good words, nothingness, emptiness, marvelous word, but it doesn't matter. From your own shallowness, much better. You are escaping from your own shallowness by saying that my wife is all important. My work is all important. Why do you do that? Is it an escape from your shallowness? From your callousness, from your stupidity, from your indifference, from your uncertainty? At least you have got my wife, there I am certain. I don't sit between two things. You follow? There I am quite clear.
I think I give importance to something when it benefits me or it's healthy.
I benefit from giving all importance to my wife, because then I get sex and cook and whatever it is, all the comforts. And also get the backlash, which is I become jealous of her. And then I must possess her much more. I won't let her go. She feels imprisoned, and perhaps she likes to be imprisoned. I possess her, and she feels happy in being possessed by me. And she possesses me also. Then it's an interrelationship of possession, in which there's always anxiety, fear. My God, I hope nothing will happen. A quivering relationship.
But we don't generally look at all the fear. We look at the good things about it.
So, what I started out with, escaping from my, whatever it is, shallowness, I have given my escape to my wife, to my child, to my husband, to my girl or my boy. And in that escape, I create tremendous problems. No?
So, but I really can't see the escape.
Huh?
I really can't see the escape that you're talking about. There doesn't seem to be any escape.
Oh, then why do I do this? Why do human beings do it? Businessmen, politicians, people who are seeking power, position. Why? When you have power, over like Brezhnev and prime ministers and so on, you have a lot of power. Why do you pursue that power?
It seems that, do you suggest that money has no importance of itself at all?
I never said money has no importance. I said money has importance. Otherwise I couldn't be sitting here.
So that very importance may be attracting me to put emphasis on it and not the escape phenomenon completely.
You look at it, sir. Look into yourself, each one of us. See what is taking place. When you give importance to sex, important in the sense that is the most important thing in my life. What happens?
See, the pleasure you get from that certain thing takes you away from it. Well, takes you away from your problems and difficulties.
Also, there's a certain idea of fulfillment. If I want to go into politics, I may have ideas as to how I could do a very good job in politics, say, for instance. So that it may not feel like an escape, but rather pursuing the idea that I'm projecting into the future.
So, look at it this way. Is it one is escaping from one's own ugliness, shadowness, when you say that is most important, my wife. And the other point is, can you give importance to all the things, equally to all the things of your life? Money, sex, God, if you're God, and all that silly word, to goodness, you follow? To everything. Can you do that? When you give importance to one thing, you become unbalanced, don't you? Huh? Don't you?
The thing's made out of place.
Out of place. It's out of place. It's not, it's like developing one very strong arm and the rest of the body very weak.
So it seems when you give importance to one thing, that you're able to do it only because you're setting aside a lot of other things as being unimportant. And without those other things, you couldn't give importance to this one thing. So how can you give importance to everything?
Find out, is it possible? I said, I did not say it is or it is not.
Sir, I have difficulty with this word equal, because equal implies comparison.
No, equally, money is equally important, sex is equally important, whatever, everything important. You understand my question?
What do you mean to see the proper importance?
Look at it this way. If you give one thing importance, place one thing above all others, you live an unharmonious life, don't you? Contradictory. It's not harmonious. It's like having very, very strong legs and a very weak mind. Or very strong arm, one arm, and the rest are very weak. It's not a total harmonious development of the body, right? Now, if you give importance to one thing, sex or child or money or wife or husband, girl or boy, it is not a harmonious living, right? Would you agree to that? Would you see that? Now, then let's inquire, what is harmonious living? Which is the mind clear, right? Strong, not wobbling between two sides and never taking any side, but strong mind, clear mind, unworried mind, right? And a good physical body. Right? If you haven't got a good physical body, you become slightly psychosomatically neurotic and all the rest of it follows. Then also, emotionally, you must be highly sensitive, right? So, the three operating together create harmony. The mind, the body, and the quality of deep sensitivity of affection, so on and so on. The whole of that, neither one thing stronger than the other. That is living a harmonious life. That is not possible when you give importance to one thing. Right? Is this clear? Right?
Krishnaji, is it appropriate to ask if there are things that have absolute importance and not relative importance?
We're going to find out. Yet they are.
Like living a harmonious
absolute importance. Irrevocable and total. Absolute. We're going to find out. Now, how is this to be brought about? A totally harmonious living. Neither one thing, neither the mind, intellect dominating everything else, or the soma, which is the body, influencing everything else, the senses, you understand? Which is what the world is doing, living on sensation. And emotionally romantic, all that stuff. Now, how do we bring about a harmonious existence? Mind, body, and what shall we call it, the other thing? The heart, generally called. But that's again rather silly word. But we'll accept it for the moment to get on with it. So, the body, the heart, and the mind. Always in harmony, not one or the other dominating. Now, can this be done? Come on, sir, don't go to sleep. Don't think of, hey. Shankar, come on, sir. If this is important, right? Totally and absolutely important in your life, what will you do? To have excellent body, which means no drink, no drugs, no alcohol, no smoking, very sensitive, highly responsive sensations, senses. Therefore, if you have that kind of sensitivity, senses awakened, then sex becomes important. You follow? Pleasure. So he said, I wonder if you're following all this. Huh? Are you, Shankar? Or are you going off somewhere else? And if you cultivate the intellect, as the intellectuals do, and they are very strong people, the intellectual people. They write clever books, clever theories. Karl Marx, was an intellectual. Right? He created marvelous theories. Lenin, Mao, the popes, the priests, they are tremendously intellectual people. Some of the saints. And they have led the world. Freud was a tremendously intellectual, and he's created havoc in the world, putting the father against the son and the son against all the rest of it. And so I won't go into all this. So how will you, as you are young, as you are students, as all of us, how will you bring this about in your life, which is the most important thing? Come on. Do you agree this is important? No, the most important.
I have just realized that any importance in the creation of my mind. No, it's not. I see clearly, observe clearly, that if I have not a good psychosomatic responses, clear responses, I become neurotic. That's a fact. I see it very clearly, logically, reasonably, sanely. I see that there is not a perfect harmony. Mind, heart, body, every action is neurotic.
So does the word neurotic mean giving more importance to one thing than other things?
Neurotic. Don't for the moment go towards the full explanation. Is not correct action. Let's put it that way. You don't like the word neurotic. Now, if you see that, not as a theory, not as something to be as a goal, as a purpose, as an end, but it has to be done now. Right? Not tomorrow. You must have an excellent body now. Eat the right food, no smoke, no drink, no etc., etc. And you must have a very good mind. Not intellect, I don't mean intellect. Those who have tremendous intellects have misled the world. Sorry, I hope there are nobody here. Like André Gide, and I can tell you so many people who said, communism is the greatest gift to man. And they got disillusioned, and the poor followers were caught in it and remained in it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So my question is, what will you do? if that is the highest and the greatest, not even important, let's say, not an ideal, it's the greatest way of living. What will you do now? So wouldn't you immediately cut off? This is the most important thing in life. This is a particular thing. Sex, money, child, husband, wife, and so on, so on. I wonder if you see all this.
I want to be sure that this is not another escape that I am creating.
Huh? Oh, no, you're not creating. It's a fact. It's a fact that tree is there.
You could make it the most important thing to not have the most important thing, and that would be.
And you could make of it. Quite right. Do you see the fact of this? Not the idea of it, right? You sort of not the idea of it, but the fact that one must live that way. If that is a fact and it is actual, then what takes place? Then you become tremendously aware, don't you, that you don't push anything in a wrong direction. Huh? You understand what I'm saying? Come on.
But there seems to be a problem here, because in my trying to live the harmonious life, I have to give importance to all things equally.
No, you haven't found out, you haven't listened to, sorry, I haven't explained myself clearly. If you have not a good body, excellent body, responding properly and sensitive, clear, strong, the body reacts on your mind, doesn't it? And the mind then reacts on the body. The body being weak, unless you are extraordinarily alert to it, the mind becomes also weak. And your actions then will be weak. Now, if you see that, not as an idea, but as a fact, like pain in your tooth or tummy, that's a fact. Then, you say, but there must be great care in what you eat, what you drink, you follow? And also to think very clearly, not personally, not I don't want to think about it because it's going to affect me. To think clearly, objectively, non-personally, non-emotionally. Will you do it? Will you begin? You asked me this morning. You began by asking relationship and sex. Can you have harmonious relationship with another who is not harmonious? You may be harmonious, living this extraordinary life, and you are I'm your wife. Thank God I'm your wife. Then what happens? I'm not like you. I want money. I'm attracted. I want to show my beautiful face to everybody. And I want to be dressed. Who is it? Christian Dior. Or Saint Laurent. And where is your relationship with me? You follow the difficulty of all this? The complexity of it? If we are both in disharmony, it's much easier. We can quarrel, we can say, well, it doesn't matter, carry on. Messy life. But if you are tremendously harmonious, and your partner is not, then havoc. You follow?
But if you are that tremendously harmonious, you should be able to affect the people around you. I mean,
but you might become harmonious after you've been caught in marriage, or with a girl or a boy. You may become harmonious, and the poor girl or the boy, what are you going to do? Now, you have to be aware of all this, you understand? Not come to any conclusion, you have to find out.
And parents too, Krishna.
What's that?
Parents too, this relationship.
Of course,
is.
of course. Parents, aunts, all the rest. So I'm asking you, please, will you live that way?
You seem to be suggesting two things, Krishnaji. One is a cultivation of the mind, the heart and the body, in order to have a certain lucidity. And the other is a harmony that comes about from lucidity.
From?
From lucidity, from clarity, from being clear as to what harmony is.
I don't quite follow this.
Well, you're saying that a harmonious life consists of these factors: clear
Yes.
mind, an open heart, and a sound body. Those are things which can, to a degree, be cultivated.
I'm coming to that. So can it be cultivated?
Well, aren't you suggesting that it can?
I'm putting this forward. And that's why I asked, will you do it? Then you will ask, how am I to do it? But you don't ask. Then we'll go into it. I said, look, can this harmony be created by thought? You understand my question? Which means thought itself is harmonious. Therefore, whatever it can create is harmonious. Right? You understand? Come on, boy, that's not difficult.
But thought isn't a harmonious.
Now that's why. If thought, he said, can thought, I'm asking you, can thought create this harmony? Bring about this harmony? Harmony between the mind, etc. The three. Can thought do it?
There seems to be a contradiction in this.
No, there's no contradiction. Can thought do it? I'm asking you.
I would suggest it can't.
No, I say it's impossible. Because thought itself is a fragment, is a broken piece, is limited. Thought has created this disharmony in the world. And thought has created this disharmony in my life. So I say no, thought cannot create it. Then what will? Right?
but we are coming to these conclusions only through thought, isn't it?
Huh?
We are coming to these conclusions only through thought.
No. There is no conclusion, only seeing fact.
You see, with your...
Voilà. That's the difficulty. As long as you are using thought as a means of bringing about harmony, then you have to inquire whether thought itself is harmonious. If it's not, it can't create it. Right? If I'm using a blunt instrument where sharp instrument is needed, then I have to throw away the blunt instrument. In the very throwing away of the blunt instrument, I create this sharp.
If I cannot get harmony through thought, what do I do?
No, that's right. I think, is it time to stop or can we go on? It's 1:15 nearly. I'm not avoiding your question by introducing lunch. Do we go on? I'm asking you, please tell me, do I go on or do we stop?
Can we go on for a few minutes and then?
I for Mrs. D and the cook and all of us.
Yeah, let's go on.
I think we ought to stop.
We ought to stop. Say it.
Hold that question and start probably the next talk with that.
What?
Hold that question, go into it ourselves, and perhaps...
You see, it's so difficult to hold that question till next time.
Let's go on.
No, but I want consensus.
It's been suggested that we shouldn't
What?
be greedy about...
May I have 5 minutes? Huh? Is that enough? Will that be enough? Do you see very clearly that thought itself, whatever it creates, whatever it does, brings disharmony?
When you're unclear and you think, it brings disharmony. But if you're clear...
Do you see it? See the fact that thought has created disharmony. It has separated people into nations, right? It has separated people into various categories of religions, classes. It has created the architecture, but not the tree, not the nature. Nature is harmonious, whether the tiger kills the goat or that is harmonious. It's this way. So, do you actually see the nature of thought? That it is a broken piece, limited, therefore it cannot, whatever it does, create harmony. The League of Nations created, right? Thought has created. There's no harmony. On the contrary, it's preparing war. Are you clear on this? Are you? Shankar? If you're not clear on this, we can't go further. So we have to say, now let's go into it. Why thought is, whatever it does, is destructive, not harmonious, and all the rest of it. Then we have to go into the whole movement of thought.
I have a question. When I actually see this, do I see it through thought or no?
No.
And how do you see it?
Wait, just make it very simple. When you look at that tree, can you look at it without calling it green, a tree, the word? Just look. Without the word, without saying it's green, it's this, it's that. Just look. Can you do it? To look without the word. Because the word is not that thing. So can you look at that thing without the word?
So you say that thought is
Yeah,
worse.
do it. Then you will discover. I've got 2 minutes more.
Are you suggesting that thought is the basis of sorrow? Which one is escaping through these various things?
Are you saying what, sir?
That thought is the basis of sorrow.
Absolutely, of course.
The thing that confuses me, though, is when we're talking about the harmonious life, because I'm not harmonious. And when we talk about it, it's a theory for me, and it's another thing that I'm going to spend my time trying to be, so I'll be in more conflict.
No. One discovers, one lives a contradictory, disjointed, confused life, right? And out of that confusion, we say we must live harmoniously, right? That act of wanting to live harmoniously is part of thought. And thought has created confusion. So, do you realize thought cannot create anything but confusion? Not architecturally, not and so on, but in oneself.
So that's not very clear, because while one can see that thought has not created something that is harmonious, it's not absolutely clear that it cannot create something that is harmonious, because
So
one hasn't
that means, is thought itself harmonious? To create something harmonious, the creator must be harmonious. Right? So we say God is harmonious. Therefore, we worship God. Therefore, God will make me harmonious. The God is created by thought. Time. We'll continue with this another time, right? May I get up? Would you all?